democratic leaders who had your full and unconditional support. You're not answering the question you ought to be answering, Charles, and you get very irritated by it every time I ask you, is that are you using Ukraine for a geopolitical victory? You are. You want this war prolonged because you need to score that geopolitical victory because Biden is surrounded domestically. He's going to lose all the elections. And he knows that the only way to keep the popularity base up in American politics is a war. Bush's popularity increased during the Gulf War. George Bush's job approval rating surged up 90% with the end of the Persian Gulf War. It's a fact. Wars make you popular in America. That's why Clinton rejoiced.
Who launched the war?
That's why I'll allow Charles, that's why Clinton rejoiced. He was laughing. He was laughing and rejoicing when Gaddafi died. It's a fact. So I'll get Nikolai on the debate right now. I want the war to end, but what is the Russian endgame?
Russia launched the war. The United States is trying to stop it.
Then why don't you help end it rather than help prolong it?
The U.S. is trying to
help end it by providing
Nikolai's been on the debate from Moscow. Nikolai Toporin, please.
Defend themselves.
Yes, Arnab. Let me speak for a while because it's very difficult to speak if everybody speaks at the same time. Please try don't to interrupt each other. Otherwise, we can't listen to what they are saying. In my view, we should return to 2014 when there was a coup d'etat in Ukraine. And the story began from this fact. After all, after this fact, Ukraine started to be in hard opposition to Russia in everything, in not only in Donbass and in Crimea. It's pronounced the way to join NATO. Many times, Russian president told colleagues from Western countries and from Ukraine as well that Russia don't want Ukraine to be accepted to NATO because it can be a real military threat to Russia, to Russian citizens. Because we unfortunately, majority of Russians think that NATO is aggressive organization. It's not defensive organization. It's aggressive organization.
Gabriel.
Why? Because it was
Ambassador. Nikolai, 1 minute. I want to get Ambassador Syed Hussein Mousavian. This is a practical situation. The Russians say the situation has to go back to 2014. Otherwise, this war cannot end. I've heard this repeatedly from many Russian panelists. Is this practical, Ambassador Mousavian?
First of all, we need to be realistic. It is clear that President Putin made a mistake to attack Ukraine. It is against international law and regulation because attacking a country, you need a resolution of United Nations Security Council, Chapter 7, Article 42. The Russian invasion of Ukraine is not a UN resolution. It is, I believe this is illegitimate. However, Russia had a legitimate concern because already the NATO promised Russia not to extend to the border of Russia. It was for years and years and years Russians, they were negotiating. And they just wanted a guarantee that the NATO would stop its border. Because Russia had a legitimate concern, but the method of choosing a war was not legitimate way. Now we need to come back. Democracy is, I believe, to be frank, democracy is neither important to the US nor Europe nor China. If a dictator is in the interest of the US, like Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia, Shah of Iran, or Mubarak in Egypt, the US would support. If the war is in the interest of the US war on Iraq, US war on Afghanistan, US engagement in attacking Libya or Yemen, they would support. Therefore, the issue really is not democracy. Issue for the US, for NATO, for all superpowers is the national interest. Whether a leader is Democrat or not, they don't care. They talk about democracy, but democracy really in practice doesn't mean anything, because we can see Yemen, the most disastrous.
I agree with you. I don't think this is about democracy. I completely agree with you, Ambassador Mousavian.
No, I mean,
this is not about democracy. I want to take it up from there. It's not about democracy. I think my point is, Ambassador, my concern is, I'm sorry to interrupt there. My concern is really this, that I think the Americans love war. My point is very simple, Gabriel. The fact is Americans love wars. They just love endless wars.